All right, so my passion is stocks. So I just figured I wanted to talk about it a little bit just to help some insight. Maybe it'll help somebody one day. And this is just purely stocks, nothing political, nothing. It's nothing like that at all. We're just going off of what's going on with the daily day and what we have to deal with and what opportunities are out there. So stocks is a tool to help you gain financial freedom. It's very easy to do now and use. It's an app on your phone. Back in the day, you used to have to call a brokerage and kind of get that transaction made. But nowadays, you just log on, and if you're able to buy something on Amazon, it's actually a little bit harder than buying an actual stock. So that's how simple it is. Everybody should be investing, especially when the markets are down. It may be tough to look at your portfolio. Trust me, I am hurting right now, but it's great to see the green days. But bad days like now is what makes you actually grow more and really be happy when those green days come because you capitalize on these opportunities. And think about it, it's like going shopping. When you go shopping, you're happy to see a discount. So put that mindset to stocks and you will be buying great companies. Just don't follow into the hype and follow. There's a lot of companies, you believe it or not, that are on the stock market that actually are not profitable and don't make money, and they dilute the shareholders to make a profit, and that's how they're kind of staying afloat. But they eventually go bankrupt. There's one diamond in the rough, but don't look for that. Find something that's stable at least at first until you become good at it. You start building a passion and sticking with those great companies that have been around, that seen 9/11, that seen COVID, that seen the 2008 crash, or some have even seen the Great Depression. So find these companies and invest at them at a discount when they're really presented to you. So I want to share a few, and I'll explain kind of a reason just to kind of get your head in the mindset and figure it out. Just to kind of give you ideas and what personally what I am buying or what would be buying, but it all depends on your time set and what your time frame and what honestly what you're into and what you like as a company. So the first one I want to share with you is called Google. We all know it. We all use it. We use it a lot more than we think. The technically the parent name company is called Alphabet. Right now, Google is sitting at 18.4% ratio. That is in stock terms very cheap. This is like a company that's Google, a high tech stock trading on a valuation. It's called price to earnings ratio. You'll learn more about that. Don't worry about it too much. Just understand that it's cheap. Sitting like a company like Kraft and Heinz pretty much sitting on. So you're talking a great growth company. Just think about it. How much time do you spend on YouTube? What the term that you use? You Google something. It became a verb. So if you really think about it, Google is huge. They're getting into robotics. They're partnering with a lot of companies, and they're in cloud. They're the third uh, biggest competitor in cloud behind Amazon and Microsoft. So yeah, Google at these prices is very, very cheap. Next one I would say is Amazon. So look at these. These are powerhouse companies that are going to be around no matter what. They're going to be around long after you pass away, and these shares maybe can go on to your kids and create generational wealth. So Amazon, everybody buys everything from Amazon. My fiance pretty much every day is Christmas once you open the door because there's an Amazon truck every single day and there's a package. So they made it that convenient, that simple, and they know all your buying habits if you really think about it. Amazon is only a search engine where we go to actually buy a product. So their revenue is a lot. They pretty much outbeat Walmart, companies like Walmart. And if you think about it, Amazon is huge. Think about Alexas, think about the Ring cameras, think about everything once it goes autonomous. They're gonna have such huge profit margins, and they're huge in AI, and they're also got a big cloud business. So think about that. They even beat FedEx and UPS. So Amazon beats every company that it kind of competes with. It competed with FedEx and UPS in logistics, and now they have their own major logistics. So think about these powerhouses. The next company I'm thinking about is NVIDIA. So these three is actually what I am buying. NVIDIA, I think their technology is huge. And we talked about AI, we talked about data centers, we talked about robotics. Um, so you typically need NVIDIA chips. They're the best in town. They're the most high class. They have so much computing powers beyond my not understanding, but I just know who the winner is in that semiconductor sector. But Nvidia is pretty much the brain of all that, what I'm talking about. So to me, Nvidia at these valuations is pretty cheap. All these companies right now, they're in a $1 to $2 trillion valuation. I personally think they're gonna eventually, in 10 to 20 years, gonna be around $10 trillion. So you're talking about a company that's worth 2 trillion and it's gonna be 10 trillion. So decent gain, very, very low risk, pretty much in my head. One company that I personally do not have, but my fiance owns, it's Nike. Nike's been around for so long. It had a brand issues. During COVID, they had a CEO that wanted to do everything direct to consumer and burned all the bridges between Foot Locker and all these retail stores. So now they have a new CEO that's been around with the business for 30 years. And Nike's at all-time low, even lower than the times it was during COVID when no one was traveling, when no one was buying anything. So right now, Nike to me is it's a long and hold play, very easy. But if you're somebody you want to maintain wealth, you not really care about the growth, there's also opportunities that will be a lot better than just putting your money into a bank. There's something out there called dividends. Dividends is pretty much when companies give you a percentage back saying thank you for holding the stocks. A lot of times they pay it quarterly, so every 3 months you get paid, and it's usually a percentage. So if you're talking about companies like Pfizer, Pfizer's been around for so long. They made a lot of money during COVID, and they've been reinvesting that company by buying out other companies. They're buying out the competition. Right now, Pfizer pays around a 7.4% dividend. So if you have $10,000, 7.4%, you get paid out in a year, and you get that and divided by 4 times. So you get it paid quarterly every 3 months. So if you really think about that, 7.4%, the highest yield savings account you could probably find right now is at 3.9, 3.8. And this is a company that has right now is actually a very, very cheap valuation, in my opinion, and paying you a really, really, really good dividend. So you could have the opportunity to get the growth and also secure money every 3 months as a thank you. And you take that money and you reinvest it. And that's called the snowball effect. So, yeah, these are my ideas, my thoughts. Just remember the market is up and down. When it goes up, you watch your returns. When it goes down, even though it is tough to see your money go down, but this is where you make that money. This is where you take emotions outside of investing and invest. Put your money to work because right now there is sales and to capitalize on those sales and hold them. Because at the end of the day, in 5, 10 years from now, everything that's happening now is just going to be a blink of an eye and a thought. So, peace.